My name is EeLeen and I work for the Town of Victoria Park's Town Planning and Building Department as an Administration Officer. I migrated to Australia in 1991 from Singapore as an overseas student at Curtin University. And I met my husband, who migrated from the UK. So we've been living in Perth for 31 years, and I have 2 adult children who are proud to be Australians and proud to embrace the diversity of having a Singaporean Chinese mum as well as an English dad. Lunar New Year has a very special place in my heart because it is a time where I unite with my family members. So I come from Singapore and I don't see my mum and dad very often because I live in Perth. But Lunar New Year reminds me of family, it reminds me of home, reminds me of the times that I spent with my family growing up in Singapore. Reminds me of the festivities that we embrace, such as spring cleaning the night before or the week before the Lunar New Year, so that you can have a fresh start in the house, and buying foods that are special for the occasion, like foods that have special sounding names, auspicious sounding names. My parents would prepare snacks, like New Year goodies, we call it, with cookies, with love letters, with lollies, there are different beverages as well for guests. And then we'll have a reunion dinner the night before the Lunar New Year as well. And it's a time where I gather with my extended family members, we have a good laugh, we eat together, we talk about the past year, achievements or disappointments, and we talk about the new year, what we hope to achieve, new goals or aspirations. And we wish one another well and have obviously a good time joking with each other in our native tongue as well. So I speak Cantonese and Mandarin with my family, and that's a special bond, a special time of feeling an increased intimacy when I'm with them, joking in my native tongue, and just meeting all the people that I have only seen maybe once a year because of the Lunar New Year. Now, kumquat in translation could mean gold, which has an auspicious sounding term to meaning gold. So like when you have plants like the mandarin plant and the kumquat, it is almost like you're saying that we're going to be more prosperous this year just because of the sound associated with the name of the mandarin and of the kumquat. So we'll have those plants, and quite often Chinese like to have red color ornaments in the house too. So we'll have like lanterns, we'll have like a Chinese cracker looking things. Besides that, we also have Chinese music that will be playing on the stereo, and Chinese foods, dishes that have very auspicious sounding names. Like you generally have things like a lot of foods with a lot of like mushrooms, a lot of abalone, prawns. We have what we call yuisang, which is like a raw fish dish that's filled with not just raw fish, but lots of different little crackly bits, vegetables, shredded bits. And then you put on this sauce, which is kind of like a plummy sauce with a bit of lemon, and you toss with your chopsticks. The whole family get involved. So that dish is like a centerpiece as a starter. And then the whole family sits around it, tossing this yuisang, which again, with the sound of yuisang, it means every year is going to be a better year. So it's kind of like saying we're going to have leftovers each year, which means to signify there won't be any poverty. So it's going to be a surplus each year. And the higher we toss the fish, the higher progression we're going to make in the next year. So it's kind of like wishing yourself well. In the year of the black water rabbit, I am looking forward to greater longevity, peace and prosperity, that there will be no more war, no more strife, no more fear of disease, and greater peace and no more poverty as well. World peace, basically. When there are lion dance demonstrations, often by a Chung Association, it's worth going to have a look. the loud noises of the drums and the number of people involved, sometimes kids involved as well, could be quite a spectacle. Sometimes they have a parade or with floats, quite a family drawing event. Food is a big part of the Chinese New Year celebration. So restaurants I would recommend would be Chinese restaurants that offer a wide variety of auspicious sounding named dishes, such as the Good Fortune Roast Duck House, Emma's Seafood and Dim Sum Place, Fine China, as well as 1010 Kitchen. Those would be the spots that I will be hanging around. The Lunar New Year has a special place in my heart because it reminds me of my childhood, it reminds me of my family and times that my ancestors may have spent in the past. Without knowing my history, it's hard for me to know who I am today, and it will be difficult for me to create a future for myself. So I would definitely encourage my family, my children, to be involved in festivities so that they understand where my people group have come from, and to embrace the festivities, to embrace their culture, to embrace their tradition, to have an understanding so that they know why we do what we do and how we can do it better in the future.